In this presentation, you will learn about the interpretive approach. Humanistic or interpretive anthropology seeks to redirect cultural anthropology from a strategy of finding causal explanations for human behavior to one that seeks the interpretations and meaning in human action. It is a strategy which seeks the humanities rather than science as the model for anthropology. It seeks analogies based on theatre, plays, drama and literature rather than on craft mechanics and organic structures. Humanistic anthropology is mentalist in its orientation, seeing culture as a system of ideas, values and meanings. Interpretive or humanistic anthropology eschews the search for causal explanation in favor of a hermeneutic approach which seeks meanings through interpretation of behavior or text. Interpretive anthropology does not look at how people behave as much as the meanings which persons living in the society give to their actions and behavior. These meanings are conveyed through the use of symbols which stand for values, codes, and rules. This viewpoint does not deny the material world, but believes that the material and social world of humans can be best understood by listening to the way persons living in the society explain and understand their institutions and customs. The job of the anthropologist is to interpret the interpretations of the natives. Clifford Geertz. Geertz is the theoretical leader, if not the founder, of the approach to anthropology called interpretive. He asserts that anthropology cannot aspire to be a science in the way that the physical sciences are, with laws and generalizations based on empirical and verifiable data. Geertz believes that anthropology must be based on concrete reality, but from this reality one derives meanings rather than predictions based on empirical data. Use of models, Geertz argues, strips social analysis of its living qualities, for models tend to be too abstract. Instead, anthropology should base itself on the humanistic disciplines, utilizing description, poetics, literature, myths, symbols and features of human beings which differentiates them from other species. Geertz is not the first to develop the idea that human sciences are different from natural sciences. German philosophers like Rickert and Dilthey believed the study of human phenomena should be historical and ideographic, as contrasted with the study of human phenomena which is abstract and generalizing. Ideographic studies are particular and unique. They are based on the case study and as such can capture the totality of life within a society in its complexity and variation. Ruth Benedict stressed the ideographic study, as did her mentor Franz Boas. Benedict believed there was a discontinuity in kind between two whole cultures which is often overlooked in the process of cross-cultural comparison and generalization. German philosophers believed that since human beings had the mental capacity for language and learned knowledge, the study of human society required methods, techniques and orientations different from the study of other natural phenomena. Geertz and other humanistic anthropologists shared this view. Miles Richardson makes the case for interpretive anthropology as a science of humanity. He believes interpretive anthropology combines the concept of culture as symbol with the concept of culture as social interaction. He states that the search for underlying causes for human behavior takes away the magic of real life. Geertz sees the cultural context not as a set of general propositions, but webs of significance which humans spin and in which they operate as they go about their daily activities. In his view, to reduce the world to a cause and effect perspective is to miss the human mode of being. This is similar to Sartre's existentialist approach, which while edging the materialist basis for existence, insists on the importance of human everyday activities in any social analysis. Geertz's view of the importance of the single case is not a radical break with the past. Boas, Malinowski and Radcliffe-Brown used the study of a single culture in depth to derive insights about the functioning of human societies. Again, Geertz's belief that meaning in a society should be derived from the native point of view is not a radical departure from anthropological tradition. The argument against ethnocentrism and the insistence on the integrity of all cultures is part of the perspective that tries to see other cultures from the native viewpoint. This was a strong element in Boasian anthropology. Geertz's orientation to seek meanings based on the native view is relativistic. It is designed to make the anthropologist sensitive to views other than his or her own. Geertz seeks self-knowledge, self-perception, self-understanding that sorts out who the observer is and who the people are that he is trying to understand. In his book Local Knowledge, Geertz's interest in the individual case seeks knowledge by starting from the base of native knowledge and combining it with that of the observer. Geertz's perspective in anthropology can be called humanistic as well as interpretive, in the sense that he aims for expositions which retain the individuality and complexity of human behavior, usually found in literature and art. He argues that a work of fiction, a play, a painting, or a poem captures and provides insights into the human condition, often missed by abstract theorizing. He likes this type of anthropology to a sort of cultural hermeneutics, a semantics of action. Criticism on Geertz's interpretive approach. Most anthropologists agree with the position that there is room in anthropology for both theorizing and concrete interpretation of a particular. Disagreement comes only when Geertz makes a claim for the superiority of his approach. He calls his orientation more human. Shankman counters this claim, saying that the test of superiority should be based on whether it provides a better understanding of a particular phenomenon. There are two assumptions in Geertz's interpretive anthropology which could be subject to challenge. One is that a scientific approach is necessarily a dehumanizing one, and the second is that people reveal the essence of their culture through symbolic forms. One could argue that scientific theory and data have been employed against the dehumanizing phenomena of fascism, sex determination, ethnocentrism, and superstition. One could also argue that people are unaware of the symbolic significance of their actions, ideas, and values. Therefore, a theory of culture benefits from the interpretive approach using the data of natives as well as the scientific approach using the models and categories of social scientific observers. Geertz's work has stressed that culture and social organization do not exist apart from individuals, but rather in and through individuals' interpretations of events and objects around them. He has thereby asserted the idea that the social order is both subjective and objective, a matter of individual values and motivations, yet bound up in public symbols and communication. It is interesting to compare Geertz's ideas with that of Heidegger, truth according to whom is sought through human engagement with the world. For Heidegger, hermeneutics or interpretive understanding is not a way of knowing the world, it is the way we are. It is the basic form of human existence. Interpretation is not a tool, it is the essence of every human being. He believes that there is no way for subject or observer to separate himself or herself from the object or observed. In this view, the search for knowledge is conditioned by culture, context, and history. Gadamer insisted that consciousness is not historically neutral as thought by Descartes. Rather, it is historically built up and is shaped by ways of seeing, by attitudes and concepts embedded in our language and in our cultural norms and styles. Gadamer does not believe in the possibility of the social sciences carrying humans beyond their culturally shaped context to some standpoint from which they can see the things in themselves. Geertz's view of anthropology shares these perspectives of Heidegger and Gadamer. Thank you for watching the presentation. Do like, subscribe, share, and leave your comments about this presentation or any other topics you would like to learn more about.